So you want to know about my history? Well, if you find anything, please tell me. I would really like to know too. I am Ren von Stromschlag, an elf by race, a wizard by class, and a librarian by trade. To understand my history, you first must know about the Library of the Arcanes. It's a child's tale told by tutors and teachers. A library that contains every book in existence. Beyond the Elven lands, a crooked tower, deeply built with magic. The story goes back 1,000 generations, but the details are slim. As the legend goes, once in a generation, a scholar of peerless repute feels an unavoidable calling to travel off into the wilderness, to drop everything that they have and not turn back. There, at some point on their journey, they find the tower. When they enter, the previous keeper welcomes them, and with their dying breath, passes on a great secret. Secret is said to unlock the abilities of the library. I was once the keeper of the Library of the Arcanes. I was for, 400 or more years. But those years were not as they were meant to be. In about my 200th year of life, the library was visited, a very rare occurrence, by a mage of great power, Inkel Nerysaren, the first mage of the Court of Forbidden Knowledge. As he arrived at the door, rapped on it with his large staff, he cast a spell on me and commanded me to let him inside. Powerless to resist, I did so. And in that moment, the library took from me everything I ever knew from my life. All the memories that I had from my childhood to then, gone in an instant. All to protect the secret. Nerysaren was an evil man, and over the next 200 years, he tortured, forcing into my mind with brutal psychic and later more rudimentary methods, attempting to force from me what had already been taken. I could not answer his questions, so his court tried a different measure. They moved their headquarters to the library, and there they began to rip into the very surface of reality, desperately trying to unlock the library's power. It never worked, but in order to protect themselves from me, whatever it was they thought I could do, when they met there, I was hunted in the winding halls of the library. Nerysaren stalked me, and when he found me, he took everything from me. Reaching deep into the weave, he cast powerful magic, feeble mind spell, ripping from me the only thing that I had left. For months at a time, I would shamble through the halls, a muttering fool, unable to even think. And in the short times where my mind returned to me between meetings of the court, I only managed to briefly regain my sanity long enough to realize once again the situation that had befallen me. But this did not remain forever, for eventually I began to take these moments of lucidity and craft a plan. When my mind returned to me, I would dig into the halls of the library, searching for magic to help me. And one day, 100 years into this latest torture, my salvation was found. A simple spell taught to beginners. It was the key to breaking Narasaren's hold on me. Simply called encode thoughts, it allowed me to hide a memory in the material world. Just for a few hours, that was all I needed. The next time Narasaren stalked into the library to destroy me once again, I pulled the memory of having shaken his last spell, of having saved my mind from its power, and without knowing that I'd done so, I returned to my incoherent state. When he found me, he tested me, tried everything, but as far as he could tell, I had never broken his previous spell. Content that he had finally, utterly destroyed me, he returned, and for the next 100 years, I was able to observe and to learn what I could, though without the ability to practice, and just doing what I could in secret. I'm not afraid to admit I didn't make that much progress. However, that's when everything changed. 400 years into my ordeal, during a meeting of the court, everything changed at once. In what would have been an ordinary circumstance, while I watched from the rafters, secretly trying to eavesdrop where I could, a bolt of lightning sheared the library in half. A blinding flash disoriented me, and when I came to, all that surrounded me was ash and rubble. As I stumbled to my feet, I looked around. There was no one around. Everything and everyone was gone. As I took a step forward, however, I nearly tripped. As I looked down, I saw 2 items on the ground. All that, to the best of my knowledge, was left of the library. A book, familiar to me, the book the court wrote in during their meetings, and a staff, the same one Narasaren had owned. However, where on his stood a flaming red crystal. This time, there was a different one, electric blue and crackling with fading energy. The staff was wrapped in strips of leather, with arcane runes, some of which I recognized, some of which I did not. As I took a look at these items in confusion, a voice carried out from the sky, from the forest, I do not know. It was everywhere and nowhere. It simply said, "Do not worry, loyal keeper, for though you will be the last, you will one day be known as the first." Her voice was soft and elegant, but like a rushing river, it carried behind it an unimaginable power. As I stood and began to walk away, the voice, fading into the distance, spoke one last time, with a command that I now hold as my mission. Go now, go and learn and gain power and rebuild and learn. And with that, I wandered out of the forest. I stumbled for a few days before I encountered a wolf by the edge of a town, and it was during my short-lived battle with the creature that I came to know my current acquaintances, for better or for worse.